So the Smackdown hacker is the main talking point once again this week, and of course it's all because of a brand new video released on Twitter. We'll talk about that. Now, it also seems pretty certain at this point who the hackers are. We'll talk about that later on in the video, but we gotta first talk about their Twitter profile, because if you want to follow the hacker on Twitter, it is at the message WWE. You will not believe how many comments I'm getting still saying that this is the hacker, this is the hacker. There are many fake hacker accounts. This is the real one. It's been verified by retweets from WWE, etc. Now, they did release a new video today, and I absolutely love this. It was only like 14 seconds long, but obviously the very start of it had the voicemail message saying you have one new message. Now, we haven't heard that before from the hacker, so the fact we've got that now kind of verifies that what we will receive, the message that we will have to look out for, is a voicemail message. Now, it kind of also verifies what we saw before from this. Maybe this envelope is a message being delivered. Obviously, this was back from the glitch days, so it seems very likely now that the Smackdown hacker is ready to expose the next big secret, and I'm all ready for it. And there has been a clue on his Twitter profile. Last week it read, "A new host. Watch for the signal. Hear the message." So we've been watching, we've been waiting. Well, this week it's changed to redemption. How predictable. So straight away, everyone on Twitter is theorizing the redemption. It means Jeff Hardy, because he's currently going through this chaptered story, and the redemption was a title in that chapter. Now, that's perfectly plausible, but I don't think so. I've just got this gut feeling that I don't think it's going to be Jeff Hardy. I think it's a little bit too obvious, especially when the other chapters are titled completely different. Now, if that Twitter bio changes next week to the comeback something, then it's more than likely Jeff Hardy. But just for one word, I'm not betting money that it's going to be Jeff Hardy he's going to expose a secret for, just yet. Now, we have also theorized before that the Smackdown hacker could be targeting tag teams. Obviously, from the last hacker video on Smackdown 2 weeks ago, we saw multiple tag teams being shown on screen, so we assumed that one of these teams would be the intended target of the hacker. Well, last week's Twitter video actually showed us for the very first time solo superstars, including The Fiend, Baron Corbin, and of course Sheamus. Now, it did also show teams like Cesaro, Nakamura, and Sami Zayn, also Bayley and Sasha as well, so maybe single stars aren't off limits yet. Well, the big rumour is that these three will be the Smackdown hackers. It will be like a trio at the moment. This is what I'm hearing. This is what everyone's saying. And it's also sort of proven when you change the pitch on the hacker videos. They basically turn into these guys' voices. Ali, Chad Gable, and Xavier Woods. Now, I know a couple of people have been saying Xavier Woods throughout. It would make a lot of sense in theory, but let's look in detail as to why. Now, Mustafa Ali straight away was the number one reason. Everyone gravitated to this story, thinking this was Ali getting a major push. Of course, the Ring of Light is very similar, if not the same, to the Ring of Light that Mustafa Ali actually has. But in this hacker video, in the new one, it actually took on a new purpose. It wasn't just a ring of light. It wasn't the main focus of the video. Instead, it became a loading symbol. It became a symbol of something. So maybe it's just a symbol of power, hence why it was loading up at the start of the video. Now, Ali has had promos on WWE before, when he was about to return before, obviously after the injury that meant he was out of the Elimination Chamber last year. And obviously he's an ex-Chicago police officer. In these videos, it's all about justice and doing what's right. So I do think that there's a plausible case for Mustafa Ali to be the Smackdown hacker. He wants to do what's right by the other WWE superstars. The other name is Chad Gable, obviously rechristened Shorty G recently. Everyone on the internet hated that gimmick and had no idea why Chad, a really talented wrestler, was being put basically with his back up against the wall. So not only that, the fact that Chad Gable has been in multiple tag teams and failed in those tag teams are split up, or he's been double-crossed, etc., maybe he's out to get some revenge. And then, of course, Xavier Woods. Now, we obviously have not seen Xavier Woods on TV. Except we have. When the New Day won the Smackdown tag team titles and Big E done his love fest with the tag belts, Xavier Woods appeared via satellite. But different to Kofi Kingston, who just celebrated, Xavier took the time to plug his own YouTube channel, his own Twitter, etc., etc. Maybe that's a reason. Now, also, you can quite clearly see the coordinates have changed this week on the Smackdown Hackers page. Last week, it took you to Truth or Consequences. Sierra Grand Lodge or Spa actually does translate to Large Saw, whether that means anything. And this week, they've changed. 40.9564 North, 93.5535 West. Obviously, coordinates. Guys, you can do these on Google yourselves. If you wanted to, you can do that. It takes you to Last Chance, a place called Last Chance. And we can only now assume that this is the Smackdown hacker giving whoever he's warning their last chance. Now, what happens if someone confesses something before the hacker reveals it? Does the hacker then go away? Does he move on to someone else? The fact he's put Last Chance as the next place sounds very, very interesting to me. Maybe it comes up in a future story. Now, I have also seen the rumours that Corey Graves could be involved in this Smackdown hacker story. I think it would work perfectly well. I mean, at the moment, people do still call Corey the voice of WWE. And right now, in a way, the hacker is kind of the voice for the voiceless. He's helping people who don't know they've been wronged to be, basically informed they've been wronged, and then they can take their own just desserts out on the person that's wronged them. Well, Corey has a podcast. He sat on commentary. He did have a few weeks off of commentary recently. Maybe he was setting up some hacking equipment. It's plausible and definitely possible. I wouldn't be against this. There's also rumours that Corey wants to return to a ring, so maybe it's definitely possible. And when you think of what the Smackdown hacker has done before, with the Mandy Rose, the Otis, the Dolph, and the Sonya Deville storyline, it's really worked. Right now on SmackDown, Mandy and Sonya is one of the hottest rivalries. Dolph and Otis had an amazing WrestleMania match, which obviously gave us a huge WrestleMania moment in Otis kissing Mandy. It just makes sense that this Smackdown hacker is kind of paving the way for future storylines in WWE, and the fact that they're being so well received by the audience has to be a really good thing. Now, of course, I mentioned earlier on about Ali having those old promo videos, and they are on YouTube. If you want to check them out, I do suggest you do, because they are quite interesting. When he talks about justice and doing the right thing, it kind of does sound more interesting as to what the Smackdown hacker has to say. Now, obviously, I'm pretty confident at this point that the hackers involve Ali, Chad Gable, and Xavier Woods. But there are other theories out there of people saying that it could be this person and that person. And you know what? You still could be right. Even though the voices are seemingly those three people, they're hackers. If they've changed the pitch one way, why couldn't they have changed the original pitch so you hear Xavier Woods' voice when it's got nothing to do with him? Why could it not be CM Punk? Plausibly, it could be. I highly doubt it, and I think the odds on it would be very small. But it could be, because he could have changed his voice to sound like Xavier Woods', and then it put up so it basically frames Xavier Woods. I think that's an interesting factor to think about. This hacker storyline could still go either way, even though we're pretty confident who it could be. It could still be anybody. But let me know who you think the Smackdown hackers are in the comments section down below. Do you think there's more than one? That's the interesting factor. Of course, like the video, share the video on social media so your friends can find it. They can come and have their say in the comment section. like the video. I really do appreciate everyone who likes the video because it does help it rank up on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter at CWrestlingUK. I will, as always, see you next time. Peace!